What's up, guys? Before we start this video, I just want to make sure you've all gone to muscularstrength.com and sign up for my newsletter because the 12-week transformation challenge is coming the first week of January. It's going to be workouts to help you guys build muscle. Now, these workouts are going to be available both on YouTube and on my website, so you have to have a profile to see them all and download the workout calendars. So make sure you go do that. Now, getting on topic with this video, the holidays are here, and a lot of you guys are going to be traveling and spending time with family, so the gym is going to suffer a little bit, and that's okay. But the biggest thing on your mind is going to be, what can I do to maintain my gains? Especially if you've worked super hard to build an amazing physique all year long, and you guys haven't taken too much time off, and you're worried about what's going to happen if you miss a week or two. And I know a lot of you can even apply this video if maybe you have an injury or something else going on in your life and you can't train. So it's not just about the holidays, but this video is going to apply to all those situations. So let's talk about a general timeline. If you can't train for a week, you're not going to lose your gains. You might feel like you're getting smaller because you're not getting that daily inflammation from the damage you do to your muscle tissue while training, also called the pump. So you're not getting that, but you're not necessarily losing muscle tissue. You're just deflating a bit. Now, what happens after the first week is going to largely depend on how fit you are. If you're extremely fit, you're going to lose muscle at a lot slower rate than someone who just started training. There was actually some research done in a sports science journal that says you can maintain your strength and mass even after 1 month of inactivity. But if you're an occasional lifter and you've only been training a couple times a week for a short period of time, you're going to start to notice yourself losing strength and mass probably within the first 3 to 4 weeks. So a general timeline for a new lifter would be something like after week 1 you'll be okay, by the end of week 2 you're going to start to notice a difference, and by weeks 3 to week 4 you will start losing your gains. But don't worry, guys, there is some hope, and in this video we're going to talk about some things that you can do to minimize the muscle and strength loss as much as possible. The most important thing we need to talk about is that you guys need to make sure you adjust your meal plans to be at a maintenance level so you can keep feeding your muscle tissue but not get fat. So let's talk about the reason why you don't want to be in too big of a surplus first. Now, if you're bulking right now and you're in a calorie surplus, a huge change is going to happen if you stop lifting. You're going to go from being in a surplus that's this big to a surplus that's this big. And when that happens, your body is going to start storing all that extra energy as fat. So the most important thing you're probably going to have to do is adjust your carbohydrate intake to be much smaller because you're not expending as much energy. Now, even if you still want to maintain a bit of a calorie surplus during your time off, that's okay. But you will have to adjust your meal plan to account for the fact that you're not training in the gym and you're not burning all those extra calories. Because like I said, they'll get stored as fat. Now, the other part of this is you don't want to adjust them so much so that you're in a calorie deficit. What will happen if you put yourself in a calorie deficit is that your body will start to catabolize muscle tissue for energy. So on one end, you're going to gain a lot more body fat, and on the other end, you're going to start to lose muscle tissue. And it's going to be important for you guys to track all of your macros while you're off. Even though you're not in the gym, you still want to maintain the mindset of when you get back to the gym, it's not going to take you a long time to get on track. And that's why adjusting your meal plan is so important. Now, the other part I want to talk about is protein. If you guys are not hitting your protein goals 100% of the time, you're going to find yourself in a big problem. Obviously, studies have shown that protein is going to be the #1 reason why you maintain your muscle tissue. So if it's the holiday season and you find yourself just kind of consuming everything in sight, does not necessarily mean that you're hitting your protein goal. And if you go a long period of time with not getting enough protein to your muscles, you guys are going to start to see an accelerated loss in your strength and muscle mass. Now that we've covered the meal plan, I have another tip for you guys that can actually turn your rest week into a recovery week where you're building muscle. So what you're going to do is a few weeks leading up to that week that you're taking off, you're going to increase the intensity of your routines. And that could be either adding more weight, adding more sets, decreasing your rest periods, supersets, drop sets, or even training certain muscle groups twice a week that you need to work on. If you guys do this and you train super hard those 2 weeks leading up to your recovery week, that week is going to be a time where you're actually building muscle instead of starting the process of losing it. Now, don't think that if you train really hard, you can take a whole month off. You still want to obviously get back to things after that first week, but at least during that time now, you won't be so worried about losing your gains. But also keep in mind that if you are going to boost the intensity of your routines, especially if you're bulking, you will need to increase your calories for those weeks as well. The last tip I have for you guys is to use supplements to help combat muscle wasting during your time off, and these are my recommendations. Number 1, protein powder. Protein powder for me is super easy to keep with me no matter what I'm doing or where I'm going. Whether I'm at home and I have guests, I need to eat a little more protein to reach my goal for the day, or if I have to travel, I can put a tub of protein in my suitcase just to make sure that even if I'm going out to dinner or I'm stuck at home, no matter what's going on, if I'm short on protein for the day, I'd rather have 2 shakes than miss my goal. So protein powder should be number 1 on your list. Number 2, BCAAs. BCAAs are the building blocks of muscle tissue, and they should be a foundational item in your stack. You can take them anytime, and they're proven to slow down muscle wasting and also help with recovery. So for those of you guys who are training super hard leading up to your time off, it's going to be nice to have BCAAs during that week to make sure that you're maximizing your recovery period. Third on my list is glutamine. And if you guys haven't seen my review video, I'll post a link to that down in the info section below. But basically, during times of high stress or traumatic events, your body will steal glutamine from your muscle tissue, which can result in muscle catabolism. So as an insurance policy, 5 to 15 grams a day will make sure that your body isn't breaking down muscle tissue due to loss of glutamine. And last on the list is fish oil. And as you guys know, research has proven that omega-3 fatty acids helps increase the synthesis of protein in muscle tissue and also helps combat the loss of muscle tissue while aging. So guys, if you're taking training out of the equation, you need to make sure that all these other things are in check to ensure that you're not losing muscle tissue during that time off or you're minimizing the effects of it. So it's all going to be up to you and your determination to reach your goals. So obviously, number 1, make sure you maintain that meal plan at a maintenance level. It's also going to be super important that you're not going crazy on alcohol, and you also have to make sure you're getting enough sleep so you're keeping your hormones in check during this time period. And you guys also want to make sure that you're keeping that stress level under control because you don't want to see spikes in your cortisol levels, which can lead to fat gain as well. Now, to end on a more positive note, muscle memory is a real thing, and as long as you guys have taken these tips to heart and applied them during your time off, when you get back to training, you will find yourself back to where you used to be relatively quickly. So it's not the end of the world, guys. And like I said at the start of this video, if you haven't signed up for my 12-week transformation challenge yet, workouts are going to be available on YouTube and on my website to help you guys build muscle. Make sure you go to muscularstrength.com and sign up for my newsletter so you get all the information you need to challenge yourself and make 2016 the best year you've ever had. And as always, guys, more good stuff coming soon. See ya. If you're looking for a website that lets you build your own profile, interact with other community members, log your daily meal plan and add your own custom foods, find the exact routines you're looking for to reach your goals on a weekly basis, new recipe ideas to help improve your meal plan, and you enjoy learning new things to take your workouts to the next level, join muscularstrength.com. What's your maximum output? Go.